Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynic Alex, aka Shiny Forehead, and it's been a minute since I last made a video for 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross on this channel. Apologies for that. I've just had a bit of a rough weekend, and I've had to take a day off streaming, and I've had to take a lot of, sleep a lot, take a lot of extra breaks, because I've just felt extra tired. I don't really have a good explanation for it. I just feel tired. So yeah, apologies. But I do have some video ideas cooking in the works, and actually I was going to make a PvP video. I won't spoil the team for you, but it's not Red Escanor mono red. But I couldn't do it. I can't do it now because it's just before the reset and it's Sunday, so they're doing the calculations, so I'd have to wait like an extra hour, and then that's going to F up my sleep schedule even more. But in the meantime, we were saved by the maintenance notice. Now, the maintenance notice right now is not complete. Unlike other games, unlike Marvel Future Fight, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross really does not give much information in their patch notes or in their maintenance notes. Like they'll tell you the vagaries of the character, but they don't really give you the in-depth details. They don't do sneak peeks and things like that. So this maintenance notice is actually pretty bare bones, but it's still worth making a video on in case you haven't seen maybe Seka's video or Nagat's video or someone else's, because specifically one new event that we've never had. Yeah, we've never had it on global yet. I can say that with certainty. The Hammer of Visel. So the hammers that you get from Training Cave, or you can get from busting out your wallet in the shop, they will have a 100% success rate during this event. And if you are the type of player that maximizes efficiency, if you're the type of player who is always looking for every opportunity to min-max and to get the absolute most out of your items and the most value possible, then you have been hoarding and saving and really forcing yourself not to click that button, not to try and hammer up an item. Clearly, I am not one of those players, but if you are, then you now reap what you've sown, which is you can use all your hammers up and you can get everything you want hammered with 100% success rate. Now, the 100% success rate does not guarantee, or does not, I don't think it improves the quality or sort of the success rate of super successes for hammers. Hammers have a super success rate where instead of just giving you a 0.1 or a 0.2, I believe it can give you up to a 0.5 for a 3% base stat, and I believe it can go up as high as 1% for a 6% base stat, like pierce rate or crit damage. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I know that the cap is obviously higher because the base stat is higher, right? Attack, HP, those cap out at 3%. Lifesteal caps out at 4.5%, I believe. And then crit damage and a couple of others cap out at 6%, so they have to have different values for the super success. But I don't think this event will affect the super success rate. But I will say this: for those of you that saved your hammers, congratulations! You've done an awesome job, and now you get to reap these benefits. It's awesome. I'm a little bit jealous. At the same time, I do want to say that in my experience, and this is obviously a very small sample size, but in my experience so far, I believe I've had 1 or 2 fails, and I've hammered probably at least a dozen or so items, or a dozen or so substats. So that means that there's a less than 10% chance for you to fail in the first place. So I don't want to make it sound like the 100% success rate is not a good event. This is a good event, but it's not an event I think worth spending on, because I think some players might see that as an opportunity to go into the shop and buy anvils, or sorry, buy hammers. I would not do that because you are getting the 100% success rate, which means that the value of whatever you're buying is 100% of whatever it would be. So rather than being like 96% of its value, it's 100% of its value. But the first of all, the price on hammers is obscene. It's disgustingly high. You're paying like $10 per hammer. You're literally paying $50. I mean, yeah, the 400 anvils, but in terms of hammer value, you're getting 1 hammer because you need 5 hammers to hammer an item, an SSR piece, right? So yeah, the cost is just obscene, and the success rate when the event is not on is not that much lower than 100%. So that's what I'm trying to say here. It may be a good idea. I know that the gear gacha event is not up. The gear gacha event, by the way, apparently from what I've heard, is an event that should be coming to global in the future. I didn't do that sarcastically. I just did that sort of like, we don't know when. That will double the rates of maybe not all of the items, but it'll double the rates of a lot of the important items here. And I mean, double of 0.6 is not much, but it's more than 1%, so that's pretty hype. And so a lot of people are hoarding gold and hoarding their keys. You can say hoarding my keys. I got 145, and possibly also hoarding their PvP chests. Now, I don't know if the PvP chests also have a rate up with the gear gacha, but yeah, what you could do if you don't have hammers, but you want a hammer, but you don't have money, you could pop some of your saved amber keys. You could pop some of your chests. If someone could tell me in the comments down below if these PvP chests do get affected by the gear gacha rate up, I'm guessing they don't, because these items don't even have the same, you know, they don't even have the same items inside. You know what? Now that I'm looking at this, I should be saving this just for the disenchanting, the salvaging event in the future whenever we get one, because you can't even get hammers here, so it actually doesn't even matter. So yeah, ignore what I said about the PvP boxes. It really only applies to the gear gacha. But yeah, I guess you could, very small chance, but you could try to get some hammers to use during this event. But like I said, even when the event's not on, the chance of you hammering something is pretty high. Now, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, and I've gone on for about 5 minutes about hammers, hammering this and hammering that, once you have your gear rolled to this, just a little slight flex here, once you have the gear rolled to the stat that you want, rather than using an anvil to continue rolling for a higher percentage, you can use hammers to just improve the stat. And it can either fail, which means it won't upgrade it, but it also won't lower it, or it can succeed, which means for these attack stats, for example, or for HP, it's anywhere from 0.1 to 0.5 on an upgrade. Now, the sort of the knowledge, or the sort of the common sense of upgrading with hammers, for those of you that are wondering, and I think this is mostly championed by Sekapoko, but there may be other people that agree with him, and I'm not saying he's wrong, I'm just saying where I think the information is coming from, is that you should only hammer a piece of equipment, you should only hammer a number when it's at 2.5. So that doesn't really cover critical attack and pierce rate, but essentially when it's, you know, 75 to 80% of whatever the max is, because the sort of the thinking is you can get maybe 100 anvils for every 5 hammers that you can get. 100 anvils is equal to 20 rolls. Given average RNG luck, you're more likely to I'm more likely with 124 hammers, I'm more likely to re-roll this up to 2.3 or higher than I would be using a hammer and just getting it to 2.3 anyways. Because chances are when you use the hammer, it's only going to go up by 0.1 anyways. It is a guarantee, but that's sort of the thinking. That's sort of what what a lot of people suggest. Pretty much everyone, whenever I ask, they're like, no, only hammer at 2.5, only hammer at 2.5. I'm not saying that you have to hammer at 2.5. I'm just saying that that's sort of the knowledge that's passed around in the community. I don't think I have a really much of a problem hammering at 2.1 or 2.2 or 2.1 and up. I'd probably hammer at if I had more hammers. I don't, so there's that. Maybe in the future when I have a surplus of hammers, once I've done a lot more gear, I would. But 2.5 is very, very solid advice. I'm saying it is solid advice, but I'm also saying you can do whatever you want with your hammers technically, because they're your hammers. The rest of the patch notes are pretty much completely empty of information. We know that the God tier Diamond Bogo is being reset. That's always the big meme here. We're getting a new growth event, which means possibly more SSR pendants, more books, etc. More XP potions. We're getting a deathmatch rate up event, which should be nice. I don't know if that coincides with a stamina down on deathmatch, but there is a post of the weekly stamina down events on Reddit. You can check that out. And then all this stuff is ending. Now, it doesn't say if the Escanor bundle is ending, so I might actually want to pick that one up before it ends. For those of you that don't know, the Escanor bundle, it's expensive. It is very expensive, but it's kind of spicy. It is kind of spicy. It's this one right here. I don't know if it has it doesn't have a timer on it. Yeah, so it gives you 2 tickets and 210 diamonds for $100. Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. And I am still missing characters from the Part 1 banner, believe it or not, so that's why I'm contemplating getting that. So I'm actually probably going to pick that one up before the maintenance goes on, in case it's going away. We have the $1 Elizabeth costume bundle that's ending, so if you haven't picked that up for Elizabeth, for Princess Elizabeth, if you don't know what I'm talking about here, I think a lot of people missed it because it kind of flew under the radar with the event and the last update, because it was just way more hype than a uniform. But it's this one right here. You can get it for $1. For me, it was $1.40 Canadian. And it's got decent stats. It's a 2-piece set. She doesn't have a weapon for it, but it's not bad, and it's UR, which helps for sure. Oh yeah, 3% lifesteal. It's actually pretty fat as far as stats go, and I believe it applies to both Hostess. It doesn't apply to Blue Liz, but I believe it applies to, yep, there it is. Oh, I actually have to set this up because I have her SSR, and then I don't believe, maybe it does work for Blue Liz. Maybe I'm wrong. It does. Okay, so it actually applies to all 3. Never mind. So yeah, it's actually pretty nice. It's actually pretty nice for $1. So that one is going away, and then the other stuff that's going away is pretty straightforward. Now, as far as the character, there's probably going to be more here. Like, this honestly seems pretty limited. This says there's also an exchange shop event. I don't know. We already have an exchange shop, so I'm not sure what that is. But we don't know yet what the banner character is going to be. There should be a banner. A lot of people are suspecting. There's no Hawk Pass. It's actually kind of interesting. There's no Hawk Pass. A lot of people are suspecting one of the commandments. A lot of people are guessing Monspeet, possibly red and green Monspeet, to coincide with or to match the blue-red Melascula that we saw a couple weeks ago. Other people are thinking it's going to be a red Fart King, or the red Fat King. I have no idea who they would put on his banner because he is not a good character and he's also not a popular character. He really hits none of the... He's like a Deldry. So I'm really not sure who they would put on his banner, but they would have to put someone good to make him to make people pull on that banner, right? On JP, if you guys are wondering, he came on a banner with red Escanor. So you can sort of see that, you know, there's no one left except like Derriere, but they're not going to do that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who's on this banner. I would personally, you hear this a lot from people, but I would personally like a chill banner. I want a banner that's bad. I want a banner that doesn't have value in it, that doesn't have any fun characters in it. I know you're basically just hoping for nothing, right, at that point, right? Why would they be releasing characters that are not overpowered and not fun? But, you know, not every character can be those things in every game. There's obviously balancing issues. But yeah, I just need, thanks game. Thanks for outing me. So yeah, I just need a chill banner so I can save diamonds. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the hammer. Have you been saving your hammers? The hammer event. Have you been saving your hammers or not? And let me know who you think is going to be on this banner. I'm predicting Monspeet, but that's just me. Hit me up in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.